Okay, this is my top plot. What I mean by top plot is my upper plot, because I have a plot down the bottom. I do go for unusual things, but at the moment it's only the beginning of the season. So I've got here broad beans which were eaten by mice, so I had to re-sow, and I'm hoping they'll come through. And there's elephant garlic and some onions over there, and there's a raised bed here, and I found that raised bed things grow much better. Composting area just over there. Oh, and I'll point out the plastic just for information, because I'm warming up the soil with the plastic, and if it brings through the early growth, then I can chop it quickly. It was full of radish and kale and spinach, a whole mix of things, because I'm trying mixed planting. Okay, I've got just these are chippings which we get free, wood chippings, and I just put it along the paths here to make it a bit easier to walk. Old chippings, older than this, you can use as a mulch. These are onions that are planted in autumn. These, I think, are radar, if I remember correctly, and they come earlier than the spring and summer sown onions. I've just ordered some onions to plant in March, April, and they may have a sweeter taste, and they should be ready in July. Just over here in this bed, it's got a net on, because pigeons love spinach at this time of year, and kale and all kinds of things like that. There were turnips in here which I've harvested, so that's basically here. There are raised beds over there. They've got nothing in them except the same system to try and warm up the soil. Oh, there may be a few onions in one of them. Okay. The cage here is to keep pigeons off, and cabbage fly, not too successfully. That's as far as I can go with the door. I need to shut. Pipes are here because I've been using drip irrigation, because I have a background in it. So I pulled them out now. They're in a sort of mess because there's nothing here. But what's going on underneath this is I tried an early planting, bit of an experiment of bok choy, which is like pak choy, and actually, surprise, surprise, there is some germination. And this was full of squash in the summer, and now there's red cabbage over there, and not much else actually. Yeah, I had a lot more of the Brussels sprouts, but I left this one because it looked a bit smaller, and I thought, oh, give it a chance to perhaps it'll grow. What I do with the Brussels sprouts is I chop the heads off and take the bottom leaves to give it more strength, and really you should remove the yellow leaves because they only cause infection. What this net didn't do was stop the white fly, so cabbage fly. So I did hang. They are on the floor, but yellow sticky things. But I'm not sure that really resolved it. What I will try is garlic spray in the summer. Traditionally, people, and you'll see it a lot here, turn over the soil and bring in manure and turn it in. I've tended to stop doing that, and I going more towards no dig, not completely, it's sort of in between, but I'm mulching a lot more, and I didn't bring in manure this year. What I have thrown down are chicken pellets and some from my compost. So I'm going more towards that than manure. Manure, in fact, they bring it in every year, but you don't really need it every year. You can have it every 3 or 4 years. You can in fact see a pile of manure over there, but it's a kind of ritual here to do that every year. But I've stopped getting into rituals. It is a bit chaotic here because I gave up some of my land and I've moved things up here, so I'm in a state of flux here. I'm hoping to get a tool chest soon to sort it out, but I will point out things in the greenhouse because it might be useful for people who are thinking less about chemicals and the environment. So I'll point out a few things. A few little things. I mean, it's from memory really, but okay, as I said, a bit chaotic here, but actually I'm hoping to get lettuce here. I've covered it over, it's a bit cool. And about slug pellets, I stopped using slug pellets. You can take some home if you want. These are whelk shells which I use instead of slug pellets, and this year my courgettes weren't decimated, so obviously it really helps. There is something about this water butt, little water bucket that I put, and I read about this, I put aspirin in. Because someone, I'm trying to think of his name, he's the guru of Sutton Seed Company's guru, suggested, he said that it really helps. So there's aspirin in here to perk plants up. I'll try that. And this compost, I actually took it, I didn't have any, and I took it from my compost heap and sieved it with that. I think that's about all there is here to show you. It will change because as seeds, I get more and more seeds, I'll be putting in a stand here. I'll be sowing in here. I may move some plants from my friend's greenhouse that are brassica, meaning cauliflower, cabbage, because they don't need heat. I'm trying something out with heat, because there is all this thing about you have to have heat and you have to have grow lights. At home I'm moving tomato plants once they come through and I've repotted them into the conservatory where it's a bit cooler. There's only one radiator, because I think sometimes, well, I've seen it, how plants stretch. And it was my neighbour over here, Terry, who actually said plants don't need that much heat, and I think they're doing all right. Moving them into the conservatory, so I'm playing around with that. Okay, this is my lower plot. I can see the wind has done some damage, but in general I've stopped double digging or digging in manure, and so it's given me so much more time. The reason the nets are here is to try and stop pigeons. I see they've been blown off. I did have all that area and even that area over there. I gave it up because I thought I can do so much more in a smaller space and have more time with that, and as I mentioned, the double digging and more compost boxes, water butts. This is a raised bed for my great niece, so she'll come down in the summer. And that's oh yes, there are leeks here, a few left over that I pulled out. I recently put in plum and cherry tree dropped its leaves. I hope to put in some more fruit trees. I did forget to mention that I've got a couple of grapevines on the upper plot. Now, I'll just mention this that I'm playing around. These are what they call field beans. So I haven't done this before. Really, it's a green, meant to be a green mulch. So later on, I'll just turn it in. So we'll wait to see. I've not done that before, but we'll see what happens. This is my friend's greenhouse. He's allowed me to put some stuff in here. So I'm going to open the door and you can have a look at it. So this is my stuff, and I have to remind myself that if I remember, this is cauliflower. I have got aubergines growing here, but aubergines take a long time to grow. And yeah, I've got to come back and water them because see it's getting a bit dry. And I've got some cabbage down here. Not too bad actually. So that's basically what I have here. But as I said, I've got stuff at home which I'm playing around with temperatures, and I'll just see how it goes. But strangely enough, my stuff seems to do better at home or in my greenhouse later on, because I think he has a plague of mice here. I'm going to close the door now. I will come back and water them. Yes, I've just been reminded of the U3A, the University of the Third Age. So I run a group, Grow Your Own, for all seasons, although people can do what they want. But it's people of all experiences. So I really welcome people to join. And you can be a beginner or you can be advanced, because we share experiences. It's not about me telling you how to do it, because there's all different ways of doing things. And I've learned from people coming here in the group and had to think about it. In fact, when I grew my biggest cabbage when I was just starting out, so I really urge people not to be afraid of starting. It's okay to make mistakes. I made plenty of them, so it's all a learning. Yeah. As I said, I'm filling up these chippings to lay on the path. You shouldn't use it as a mulch when it's fresh. That's my take on it. But when it's matured, it's a very good mulch, because you'll find lots of worms underneath. If I were to dig further over there where it's turned dark, you'd find lots of worms. This is very hot, so actually
I can see the steam coming.
Yes, exactly. So this I was throwing to my compost heap to heat it up. It's brown stuff as well as green stuff, so I might just do that actually. Yeah, I mean, this is not, it's okay, but we've got fresh stuff in this in the past, but I have been pushing for him to deliver, so he has delivered. I mean, we get it free, so as they say, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, so I'm going to take it down This one I think I'll tip on my main path. Walking down the bare patches are because there was a load of manure on the paths down here. So that's why it's so bare. It will grow back. The path down here has a plastic underlay, supposedly to stop cars sinking, but I don't think it really will. I'm always open to input. I've got a lot of experience, but I learn something new most days actually. That's basically it.